Yeah!
Welcome back. Welcome back, Hicks.
Welcome back to the Sports Card Strategy Show. Nate the Great Murphinus. What's up, buddy?
Not too much. Just, looking at some sales data early this morning. Things are looking good in the Southwest region. So we're just rocking and rolling over here. I got a smile on my face this morning. And then the bigger smile that I get to see you. It's wonderful.
I love the happy Murph. You're always a happy guy. It's good to hear that you're
Not true. But sometimes I am happy.
Well, even when you're not happy, you bring it strong, my friend.
Bring it strong. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm going to test your Spanish skills.
I got none. No and C. Baño.
Yo.
That's all I got.
C. Baño. So yes, bathroom.
That's all I got. I can say hello. I can greet. I can disagree, and I can find out where to pee and not get what do they call it? A public something. I don't know, and not get arrested.
In Spain, everyone just pees everywhere, so there's no.
Really?
No.
Is that true?
Yeah, there's pretty much public urination happening all the time. So,
wow. Kind of like Vegas. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. But I just got back from the Peluqueria. Can you guess what that word is?
Peluqueria? I'm going to say that's a sports card store. I don't know.
I'll give you
you are looking pretty freshly cut. I'm not going to lie. I need to go do that this weekend myself. So you are looking really sharp, by the way. I mean, look at those sides. Wow. Kind of pissed you into putting lines in those.
I might. I'm trying to fight old age, so there's no better way to fight old age than just put some lines in.
Yeah, put some lines in there. Why not?
All right, dude. So let's get into the Sports Card Strategy Show. So
let's do it.
Here's what I'm gonna call it today. I'm gonna call it the Sports Card Strategy Show, powered by NoOffSeason.com. Still presented by MarketMoversApp.com, where we want you to use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, to save 20% on Market Movers app by Sports Card Investor. But today, we have a special show sponsor of today's show, and it is Charity Buzz.
Yeah.
Let's lead off the show talking about Charity Buzz.
Okay, let's do it.
Our other topics. And so, if you go to cards.charitybuzz.com right now through October 28th, the auction will be live. It is live now through Thursday, October 28th. You will see a plethora of amazing sports cards, like sports cards that I think out of the two people in this conversation, only you could afford. I don't think I can afford these.
I would love to be able to afford some of these. It diversifies your investments, I guess. I was really excited to hear that Charity Buzz wanted to sponsor our show today. They think enough of some of the content that we have and the viewership that we have from time to time on YouTube and on the NoOffSeason.com website. That they wanted to sponsor the show today. I immediately went and took a look at some of the cards that they had, some of the different auction items available, and it's pretty cool. Highlighted by, I believe it's a 52 Mickey Mantle. Always, I mean, you show the picture of that card on there, and immediately you almost get chills because there's not many out there. There's not many well-graded cards, and if I'm remembering right, I don't have it in front of me. I believe this is a 52 Mantle that's graded as a PSA 8, which is a really high grade for that particular card. Not to mention numerous Jordan Fleer cards at various grades and things like that. It is something to go and take a look at. Maybe you don't have the money to place a bet on on the Mantle or a highly graded Jordan. But I always think if you're going to get into the collecting game again, I can tell you from a guy like me, a 40-something who card auctions were not available back when I was collecting in my 12, 13-year-old self. I think it's something pretty cool to go and look at and see what things are going for and see what it's marked at, see what it goes for. This show is all about strategy, and I think that if you're getting back into the hobby again, that your strategy should be to see what is there and what things go for. So an auction is certainly a part of that, such as Charity Buzz.
Thanks, Murph. So our friends at Charity Buzz have given us a website that we want all of you to go to check out for this auction. It's cards.charitybuzz.com. Charity Buzz is the premier online marketplace for cause, if you're wondering. And they're getting into sports cards. They have some amazing other experientials on there. You can go win experiences like a pass with Tom Brady and catch with Gronk down in Tampa. There's all sorts of crazy stuff on Charity Buzz.
What better than that, huh?
But I know, but like, how smart is it that they're getting into trading cards? Because all the buzz around trading cards, like you said, and you hit on some of the cards that they have, and the benefit, the charity that this benefits is the Inspiring Children Foundation. And so you can follow Charity Buzz at Charity Buzz on all major social media platforms, including, of course, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. But we want to say a couple more things before we get into the cards that are at cards.charitybuzz.com right now. So to date, Charity Buzz has raised more than $500 million for various nonprofits and is obviously very excited to get into the trading card space. And I told them I think they're super smart to get into the trading card space because if you're a card collector who also wants your money to go to a good cause, this is the best of both worlds. And if you just recently got into the hobby and are interested in current players, you'll find, in addition to the guys that you talked about like Mickey Mantle, you will find some Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani rookies in here, which I know my 12-year-old son Max is pumped about the Judge because that's his favorite player. And, of course, him and I talk about –
Is Max going to put in a bid?
Well, Max he could dip into his college fund to put in a bid.
Awesome. Hey, that's okay. It's okay. If he makes money, that's all good, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what we're all trying to do right here, Murph.
Max is going to do two things at once. He's going to learn the value of giving and supporting your local communities and causes. He's also going to learn the value of increased revenue and investment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so here's what they've got going on right now. Now, there's one bid on the Michael Jordan 1986 Fleer. This is Beckett 7.5 graded. The estimated value is $15,000.
I've got till when? I've got till October 28th, right?
You do. You have until October.
This is all about taking a look at the bidding. It's about taking a look and seeing what the trends are and see if there's something that I'm interested in buying. I'm certainly going to the website over the weekend. It's been a busy week at work, but I'm really excited to take a look at it over a cup of coffee or over some Wheaties at breakfast.
So they're doing great because they've also got a bid on this really cool 1928 Babe Ruth Candy Company baseball card that is SGC authenticated and graded a 1.5 by SGC. The bid is at $6,500 and the estimated value here is $15,000. So they got to get to a minimum bid of $7,000 if you want to be the next bid on this card.
Yep.
Now there is a bid. I don't know if you've seen this, Murph, but there is a bid already. Cards.charitybuzz.com. And if you click on the 1957 Topps Mickey Mantle, this is not a rookie, but it's graded PSA 8. So it is extremely high grade.
It's a really high grade.
Value of $250,000, and there's
been a bid
in at $75,000, and the next minimum bid that needs to be met to meet the reserve is $80,000 bid. So support the Inspiring Children Foundation and get that bid in on that 1957 Mickey Mantle. Let's run through the cards. Let's keep going. So there's let's go get a couple more minutes here. Now I want you, either you, Murph, or you, the audience, to bid on this 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie. There's another one. It's a PSA 8, though, so it's a lot better than the BGS 7.5. And the estimated value is $100,000, but the minimum bid is $50,000. So this is a bargain right now. I mean, you could be the first to bid, and you could potentially double your money. But we want Charity Buzz to do way better than that. So go check out that Jordan. What do you say, Murph?
Oh, I say. I mean, anything with Michael Jordan on it from the mid-'80s is not going to be bad. I would have to educate my wife more significantly on the potential value of this card in the future before I'm going to throw out 50 grand. But I'm telling you, it probably worth it in the long term. It probably is. It's going to a great cause. Plus the card is, I mean, it's a Michael Jordan, 1986. It's valued. What was the PSA? It was an 8.5.
Yeah, the PSA 8. The
PSA 8. Yeah, I mean, it is. Like I have always said, the PSA 7s, 8s, and 9s, in my opinion, are going to be the ones that escalate more in value. I think you're getting 8s, 7s, 8s, and 9s at a deal right now. And because I do believe that since, for the most part, they're indistinguishable to the naked eye versus a 10, but going for 60 to 80% less, I just feel like it's a great opportunity to buy some players that you like, great investable players at 9s or 7s, 8s, and 9s. So absolutely, I would love to bid on this, but my wife and I would have to significantly talk about it first, because that's not a small chunk of change. It's just, you know what's really cool about the charity, Paul, is that they have great experiences. They have A+ experiences, right? They have A+ memorabilia, and now they're starting to get into a section maybe 2 years ago of collecting, of experiences per se. And getting into something that people are like myself, who are now, in the middle of their careers and things. We did this as kids, and now people are starting to do this once again as middle-aged adults, which I think is fair for us to call ourselves these days. So go to the charity website, take a look. You don't have to bid on a sports card, but maybe there's something else that you'd be really interested in bidding on for you, your family, and it also goes to a good cause.
Yeah, so we'll wrap this up real quick though, because there's a Willie Mays 1953 Topps PSA 7, and the current bid is $300,000. They're trying to get $1.25 million for that. There's a 1955 Topps football. It's called the All-American Football Set, and there's some PSA graded stars in there. There is a $10,500 bid on that, estimated value of $25,000. And there is a 1952 Topps baseball set, fully graded by PSA. Current bid is $450,000. The estimated value is $2 million. So, I mean, now on the investable side of things, as you're listening to these prices, again, you might be thinking that these are high. Murph, you've made some great points that these guys are going to continue to go up. You've got a Joe Namath 1965 Topps PSA 6 graded, a Mickey Mantle 1951 Bowman PSA 7. This is $1 million card. The current bid is $250,000. I mean, Charity Buzz is going to do great. They're going to do
really well. They're going to do really well.
They don't need us pumping them up as much as we're pumping them up right now, but they're going to do great, and we might as well. We love them. They're great people. Here's a few more affordable cards before we segue into the next topic. 1966 Topps Sandy Koufax PSA 9, $7,500 value, $3,000 is the current bid. Wayne Gretzky 1979-80 OP Chi Hockey. This is a Beckett vintage grade of a 4. Current bid $5,000, estimated value $15,000. Michael Jordan 1984-85 star card. You and I have talked a little bit about that.
We have.
Beckett 5.5. Current bid $4,000, estimated value $9,500. 1985 Michael Jordan star rookie Beckett graded 7.5. $20,000 bid, $55,000 value. Current bid in $25,000 on that. Another Sandy Koufax 1955 Topps. Current bid $1,500. Now we get into some more modern players. Aaron Judge autographed Beckett graded perfect 10. Be the first to estimated value $5,000. Let's get a bid in on that at cards.charitybuzz.com. I hear Max yelling from the back room that he wants to take money out of his college fund for that one.
It's all right. Get a scholarship, Max. Get scholarships.
That's right. That's what I tell him. I've got this card in waiting for PSA to grade it still. It is a Kobe Bryant 1996 Topps rookie. This is a Beckett grade 8.5. Get a bid in on that. Some more. Now, I think these are good investments here. Here's another Kobe Upper Deck 1996. Be the first to bid. We've got a Shohei Ohtani auto. Those are fairly rare still. And there is a bid in on it at $1,500. I think that's actually a really good price for that. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar autographed PSA 9. We've got another Kobe, so 3 Kobe's, 1996. Be the first to bid. My dog is running around like crazy right now. You may or may not hear that.
He's excited about the auction.
Yeah.
He's getting involved.
About the auction. There's a Shaq graded auto 2002 in a Laker jersey. A Mike Tyson. We don't talk about cards from alternative sports very often, but a Gem Mint 10 Mike Tyson autograph card. Be the first to bid on these.
What's the view? I'm not looking at it. Is he standing over Michael Spinks in 1987 after 91 seconds? What's he doing?
No, he's got the heavyweight championship belt with his arm in the air, and Don King is in the card.
Why wouldn't you?
In the card.
Only in America.
I might bid on that card. I mean, that could be a good investment. I like that, Mike.
It could. Here's
the 52 Mickey Mantle, of course. None of these cards I can afford, but we're gonna pump this up more. So now,
thank you to Charity Buzz for watching us, supporting us, and we hope that you do the same with them.
Let's get into our topics on the show today. Thank you again,
okay.
cards.charitybuzz.com. But the show topics we wanted to talk a little bit about as well in the last 30 minutes are we got some NBA buys. Okay, so we're going to talk about some NBA buys. We have some we were right about, we were wrong about, which is definitely one of our favorite topics from back in the day as we did the fantasy football website and fantasy football show at nooffseason.com. And then there's a topic that you and I didn't have time to really prep for, but because actually I was checking my emails right before the show today, and I saw something that piqued my interest, and I wanted to get your take on it. So why don't we go into this right now?
Okay, let's do it. I don't even know what we're talking about, so give it to me.
Have you heard of a basketball league, a pro basketball league called the Overtime Elite League by any chance?
No.
Okay, well, we won't waste too much time talking about the league. In short, what it is it's a professional league for top prospects between the ages of 16 and 18 years old. So this is basically meant to get high school prospects to either leave high school early or graduate high school early or just whenever they graduate high school. I guess that part doesn't matter.
I was going to say, do they have to graduate?
I don't think so. I mean, they could always go get their GED later or whatever, right? So this is for 16 to 18-year-old basketball prospects, regardless of their high school status, to leave and go play in a pro league while they can then become eligible for the NBA draft and theoretically get drafted out of the Overtime Elite League. So there's some news. Basically, what piqued my interest here is that Topps has the rights to produce cards for the Overtime Elite. Right now on Topps.com, you can go buy the rookie cards of 4 different 16, 17, and 18-year-old high school basketball prospects that are about to go play in the Overtime Elite League. Actually, one of them is from France, but played in Spain recently for Real Madrid Baloncesto team, and he is coming to the Overtime Elite League. But my thing on this is now before I get your opinion, I'll set this up just a little bit more. So there currently are some examples of this. We've talked in other shows about the college uniform rookie cards, right?
Yeah.
These are sometimes called XRCs. Now, there are brands, there are card manufacturers that maybe they don't have the rights to use the team uniforms or to use the player association rights in any way. But what they do have is they have a deal with the player. So you had Topps make a Trevor Lawrence set. You've had Leaf do all sorts of stuff. You've had Leaf, who owns the Pro Set brand. They've put Giannis on a card that looks like the old 1989 football card, but it's Giannis in a photoshopped out uniform, and it's a Giannis auto, right? There's all sorts of stuff that happen like this, and there's Trevor Lawrence, in Clemson, made by Leaf way before the NFL draft even took place. So this is not new to the concept is not new, and now you have the college likeness of college players can be essentially compensated. The players can be compensated for their likeness now. So you're going to see this more from these top card brands. But this really piqued my interest for two main reasons. Number one, Topps is going out and trying to get other licenses in lieu of the fact that they're basically about to lose their Major League Baseball license in 2023 to the Fanatics company that's going to start. Okay. So that's one thing. So it looks like Topps is going to continue to try to go out and get these kinds of licenses. Number two, is this a buy? Like, is this is what I really want to get your take on. Is this a buy? Like, do you actually go out and get Bryson Warren, Alexandre Sarr, Matt Bewley, Jazare Jackson? Do you actually go out and buy these cards? They're $10 each, and they're $30 for the 4-card bundle. What's your take on this, the great Murphinus?
Save your money. Don't buy these cards. Simple as that. Don't buy these cards. I think it's interesting, but I also know the chances of a 15, 16-year-old being anything is less than a college player that gets drafted in the lottery being anything. While it is sponsored by Topps, that's great. However, I don't really believe that this is something you would ever invest your money in. You might hit on a LeBron, but a Kobe or something like that. But who the heck knows? Those guys, I mean, they're once in generational players. Save your money. I know it's $10. I know it's $40. Save your money. Go to the auction at CharityBuzz.com and go and buy something that is actually going to be investable. Sorry. I have my own opinions, which are starting to slowly change on the basketball front in terms of, starting professional leagues or starting these developmental leagues at 15, 16, 17. I had thoughts earlier about that. They're slowly starting to change, but that doesn't mean you have to go and waste your money on cards where you've got literally a 0.001 chance of this thing being anything. Do you want to, if you want to flip it because the kid gets on ESPN and has a couple of highlights, sure, flip that sucker. But as far as a long-term investment, that's what I'm looking at, and I wouldn't do it.
Well, I respect the take. I respect the take, but I'm going to play devil's advocate with you because I want to continue to try to enlighten you and the audience. Enlighten me to the actual play, because I still think, even with texting you a little bit about this, I still think I need to enlighten you a little bit about the actual play. So the actual
it depends. I mean, I understand your take around the flippable opportunity, get somebody on the top 10 list, and all of a sudden it goes from $10 up to $35. I get that play, that flippable play. But see, here's where we're a good match on this show. You have the ability and some of the time to be able to make some of these flips. You do. And if you are watching this and you have the ability to do the exact same thing, go out and buy that card without question. Because if you got the time to flip it, grade it, figure it out, no question about it. But I am the one that's talking to you as the 43-year-old who may not. Right. Who may not have that time to do it. So if you're a guy like me, don't do it. Because you may sit on it for 3 months and miss your opportunity. If you're a guy like Paul, who has a little bit more time to do that because he's really invested in the hobby, do it. Buy the card, wait till he's on ESPN, and sell that sucker for $80, $90, $200, $300 without question. That's why we're a good match. Yeah, we have different abilities to engage in the hobby, and I think in our viewing audience, in one way, shape, or form, we're talking to everyone. It's just, who are you going to listen to, depending on your time?
Yeah. I agree. So here would be the play. I just want to clarify what the play would be. So I wish that I had some Jalen Green cards in the G League Ignite uniform.
Yeah.
In June, July, and August of 2021, because he was the second overall pick. The dude's got like 5 million Instagram followers. He's picking it up in the NBA preseason. And I'm not making the bet that Jalen Green is going to be the next anything other than the fact that I can look at his eBay sold comps on those cards, and they're in the hundreds of dollars. So I just want to clarify. The play would not be thinking that any of these young men would be anything in terms of a long-term investment, and they're not flippable based on ESPN highlights. What they are very flippable on, however, is NBA draft night, the night that they get drafted through their first NBA preseason. That machine window. The window.
We invented the hype machine.
Yes. We agree on the hype machine. So, Murph, I don't know whether or not I'm going to spend my money on this because when I think about it, I think $10 a card is very high. It's not necessarily a cheap play. If I saw these cards by Topps at my local card shop for like in the dollar bin, do you think I would buy them? Yes, I would. I would buy them in the dollar bin. But I think you can get other dollar. You can go buy a Lonzo Ball Panini Prism rookie right now for $10. And he is going to be on a Chicago Bulls team this year with a lot of hype around it.
Highly improved Chicago Bulls team. This dude just needs to find a home. I don't think he's the next Allen Iverson, but he needs to find a home and he needs to find what he's good at. I like Lonzo Ball play on the buy low side of things, as you talk about, just to kind of piggyback off what you said.
Yeah, so that's a perfect segue. So the NBA buys, we think Lonzo Ball, it seems like we're aligned on that one. I want to throw out a few others that I didn't text you about. One is Jamal Murray. Now, he suffered a pretty catastrophic ankle injury before the playoffs or right at the beginning of the playoffs last year. And the reason I like to look at guys who fit this profile is because typically their card prices dip. I haven't done a lot of research as to whether or not his card prices have actually dipped. So I want the audience to make sure that they do that, preferably at marketmoversapp.com with the promo code NOOFFSEASON. But Jamal Murray, if you can get like an RPA or a PSA 10 of him, I think that they would definitely be lower than what they're going to go for in the future after he eventually comes back on hopefully what would be a playoff contending Denver Nuggets team with MPJ and, of course, the MVP from last year. So what do you think about that take real quick? Any thoughts on a Jamal Murray comeback in Denver?
I mean, he got injured at the wrong time to take advantage of a card increase, in terms of the Nuggets late last season. I'm a big Jamal Murray fan. Not only can, I like a point guard who not only can score, create his own shot, but also is really in depth in getting his own teammates involved and making the offense better, which is what a point guard needs to do. It's part of the reason why I wasn't totally sold on Trae Young when he came into the league. I wasn't sure he could do that, but he's shown that he can, and it's really fun to see that progression. And so Jamal Murray is likely to continue to work his way back into this lineup, or I'm not work his way back into the lineup, but work his way back to health. He's not going to start the season healthy. He may not even look good until January. But to your point, is that an opportunity to buy? Maybe. Because will he be healthy by the time that the playoffs start? Likely, unless he has a setback. He's got a great situation, good coach, and great players around him to help make them better and help him look better. And that's ultimately what you want, is that kind of situation.
Great stuff. Jamal Murray fits my profile, but I'm going to do some more research on that. I wouldn't think that his stuff's too cheap compared to some of these other guys I'm about to throw out there, but I do like Jamal Murray. So I'll throw these names out, and then just kind of after I throw them out, why don't you comment, and then I'll kind of bring home what I think the plays are on all these guys. So Jaren Jackson Jr., JJJ, my guy from Michigan State, he was a 2018 top 10 pick. Deandre Hunter, the 4th overall pick in 2019 for the Atlanta Hawks. Jordan Poole from the University of Michigan. Darius Garland, the 5th overall pick in 2019. Tyrese Maxey, the current backup point guard, but I think soon to be starting point guard in Philly. And then you've got this guy, Cam Thomas, who is the Brooklyn Nets first-round pick. Many NBA experts that I respect are calling him the steal of the 2021 draft. I think he was taken with the 27th or 28th pick overall, whatever pick the Brooklyn Nets had. And Jalen Green, who I've already mentioned. So I know that's a long list.
I was going to say, I don't have that good of a memory. But
which guys stuck out to you that you want to comment on, and then I'll go through and give you my take on each guy.
The guys that stuck out first off is one that's near and dear to your heart, which is Jaren Jackson Jr. I love the potential 1-2 combo of him and Ja Morant. I absolutely love that. Morant, again, a guy who is just electric. He's basically, every time he plays, he's doing something that gets him on the ESPN highlights on the top 10. I don't even know if they're doing that anymore, by the way, the top 10. But those two guys have a real ability to create a 1-2 punch in Memphis if they can keep them there long term. Biggest thing, for them is to create that continuity, bring in at some point or develop another key player to help them go further and further into the playoffs. They got a lot of, publicity last year as that really good run into the playoffs was, an upset in the first round. So I do like that as a potential play. The one that you had mentioned to me last night that, I just wasn't sure on. I think the player is really good, is Darius Garland. I think the player is really good, could certainly be a breakout player this year, maybe the breakout player this year. The question is what does he have around him in Cleveland? This is probably someone that, unless he can get in, into another situation later on or develop, a team around him, which they have never been able to prove to do under Dan Gilbert, other than when LeBron was there. I don't know. I like the player. I like the card investment opportunity this year, as he could potentially be someone who's averaging 23, 25 points a game as the main focal point. But the question is, what does it look like long-term? And that's kind of also what I consider. The Jordan Poole opportunity, I think, is immense. We basically haven't talked about the Golden State Warriors in 3 years. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about them. They haven't been in the playoffs. Yeah, they were in the play-in games last year. But this is a guy who could be the difference maker in Golden State, along with hopefully a healthy Klay Thompson, a healthy Steph Curry, and a continual healthy and oh my God, I can't even think of it. Green.
Oh, Draymond, yeah.
Yeah, Draymond. Sorry, I was thinking Darius after all the names that we were talking about, but Draymond Green. I like Jordan Poole. He's a buy low because he's not the guy. He's not even the third guy. But as these players age and Steve Kerr figures out how to highlight his talents and what he can do to better that team, I think that is a real opportunity to find a great player who could grow on a team in a massive marketplace in Northern California. I like Jordan Poole.
Yeah, great takes. I like Jordan Poole too. His card value has been on the rise because of the preseason he's had, but I still think this could be his buy low, because I think for all the reasons you just mentioned, I think he comes in and he doesn't have a whole lot of pressure on him, and whatever he does is a bonus, and he just becomes –
anything he does is a bonus. He's got space, right? Because what are you doing? I mean, that's part of the reason why Draymond is – I mean, Draymond's, right there as a Hall of Famer already, but it's because he has the ability to find the right man. He has space to do his thing because the guys out on the wings and the guys at the point guard position can create their own shot. I think this guy's going to have space to do what he does best. This is a breakout potential. So it's still, while his cards may be on the rise, it may still be a good time.
Yeah, I agree. Now, the guys that I really think are the money guys here, the guys I have the most confidence in, and I have bids in on all these guys, by the way. I don't have any bids yet on Jamal Murray, but because I need to do my research on that. But every other name I've got bids in on. The guys that I've acquired already, I just acquired 2 Deandre Hunter rookie patch autographs. This is a guy who is the 4th overall pick, and whenever he's been healthy, he's averaged over 20 points a game. He's now healthy, and he's on an Atlanta Hawks team that's very effing good. So there's going to be some opportunity for Deandre Hunter to fit that profile of a under $100 for his RPAs. Those suckers could be $500 in about 2 to 3 months. If this
You're not mortgaging the house on Deandre Hunter. You're not tipping into Max's college education on Deandre Hunter. I'll challenge you on the very effing good in Atlanta, only because are they going to take the next step? I like Atlanta to be very effing exciting, but I'm not sure if they're very effing good. I think that Atlanta is a first, second round potential out in the playoffs. Disappointment, I would say potentially in Atlanta, but I do think that they're very exciting. If this guy can find a role, if this guy, when healthy, can stay healthy and average that 19 to 23, 24 points that you want on a team that's likely to average somewhere in the high teens, low 120s as far as points per game, he could be pretty good. But as far as effing good, I don't know yet, Paul. I'm not sure. Exciting without question. And that's where you might be able to make a few dollars.
That's what you need. So that's what you need. So I'm looking at Deandre Hunter as a under $100 RPA guy right now, and then you flip him in April at the latest because, yeah, they might be out in the first or second round of the playoffs.
I just think a major overachieving what they did last year. They did it amazing. I mean, Young's performance in the playoffs was epic. It was so much fun to watch, but it was also a weird season. You had some teams in the East and obviously in the West that played a lot of games almost back. They played basically 2 seasons, back to back, not a lot of rest time. So did they take advantage of that to make those big moves into the playoffs? We will see as the East gets healthy again. We'll see if they are a potential early exit in the playoffs, diminishing that value. But you put it on your calendar. Buy now, sell in April.
Yeah, and another guy that fits that exact mold is Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is the same exact mold as Deandre Hunter. Very similar situation on a team that could go either way, but is likely to make the playoffs. And then who knows what happens after that. Garland is who you said he is, and he doesn't have a whole lot of rookie patch autos available right now that I've seen, but he does have Prism PSA 10 rookies for under $50. So that's in the budget. So that's one of the reasons why I like Garland. Now, as far as the rookies, Cam Thomas and Jalen Green, I just want to clarify. So Jalen Green right now has some Don Russ rated rookies in his G League Unite uniform that are going for they're going for actually about $10 to $15. I'm trying to make sure that I get some for under 10 because we're still in that flippable window where you've got some time before the Pro League uniform stuff comes out. And Jalen Green, other than my guy Kenyon Martin Jr. in Houston, who's not really a scorer, he's more of a Draymond Green type player.
Facilitator.
Yeah, I like Kenyon Martin Jr. for other reasons, and I have some of his SGC 10s and an auto. But as far as Jalen Green goes, he's the only guy really in Houston who can put up points. And I mean, you could see some 40-point games from the rookie. And so I think like these Don Russ rated rookies, if you can get them for under $10, that's what I'm talking about with the play. I'm not going to do PAs until the pro stuff comes out. They're going to be way too expensive for me. You might as well go to cards.charitybuzz.com and spend your money there. But if you want to get a little flippable opportunity on Jalen Green right now, I would look for his Don Russ rated rookies in the G League.
Everything's going through. Jalen Green in Houston. Okay, this is like Jordan 85. All right, where your next best player is Corzine. Okay, I mean that's basically what this is. So of a 24-second shot clock, this dude's got a ball in his hands 19 seconds. So he's going to have opportunities. He is the guy. They may only win 26 games, but he is going to be the best player on that team. Can they build around him? That's the question.
Speaking of the vintage Chicago Bulls, do you remember meeting Will Perdue?
I did. Yep, I do remember meeting Will Perdue outside of your bachelor party at the Chicago White Sox game, going over the bridge, over the highway from the train.
Now, you're such a Chicago Bulls fan that might as well have been Michael Jordan. You were so excited.
No.
You were so excited.
I was very excited, but I would have not approached Jordan in that particular situation. But it's Will Perdue, right? I mean, Will Perdue's got, what, 4 rings, one with San Antonio or something like that? Yeah, why not?
I think
it's Will Perdue. What the hell?
You made Will Perdue's day that day. But
I'm sure I annoyed the hell out of him.
Is Cam Thomas the next Jalen Green, which is a weird thing to say, or is he the next Will Perdue? A lot of people think that he could be more on the Jalen Green side of things, even though he was drafted on the other end of the first round. And he's in Brooklyn, and there's so much weird stuff happening with that team right now that Cam Thomas has their role as a rookie. So if you can,
the earth is flat in Brooklyn right now. Okay,
when the pro stuff comes out, Murph, I might be scouring eBay for Cam Thomas RPAs that fit my budget because he could get some PT in Brooklyn this year. What do you think?
Well, he's at least going to get some PT when they play in Brooklyn. All right. At least until Kyrie figures out whatever the hell Kyrie's going to figure out. But like I said, the earth is flat. Like what Kyrie said 3 years ago, the earth is flat in Brooklyn. Good luck. You get a guy like Kyrie, you buy into this kind of stuff. Sorry, Brooklyn.
I think you go Cam Thomas. I think you
go Cam Thomas because he's going to get at least 40 games. Guy.
Avoid Kyrie, go Cam Thomas. All right, Let's go. We were right about, we were wrong about. We were right about. Now this is more me because I've made more predictions in the last. You have. But I'm gonna go. We were right about Lamar Jackson. Now before you and I even started the show together, I've been putting out content about Lamar Jackson being a buy low since about March. And I have purchased Lamar Jackson cards, and I just sold a Lamar Jackson rated rookie SGC 9.5 that I was into for about $45. Just sold it. Somebody binned it on eBay. Buy it now. Binned it for $90. So I doubled my money on a Lamar Jackson SGC 9.5, and I still have that same card in a PSA 10. My plan is to hold that sucker as Lamar heads towards another MVP caliber season and the Ravens make a playoff run. What's your take on my we were right about Lamar Jackson?
First off, you were right to buy it a little bit low. Are you the first person to say Lamar Jackson's great? No. But he is the best player on the field, no matter which field he's on. He's the best player on the field every single time. The offense is still figuring it out. Hollywood Brown starting to be a route runner, not just a streaker. Look out. Guys catching more balls over the middle. Guys getting more hook routes. That's the kind of thing that helps Lamar Jackson be great. I love Lamar Jackson. I just think he's a really fun, exciting player. I think he's a really good kid as well, and I hope he continues. You were right about. Well done.
And the hype machine was down on Lamar after last season. The hype machine, nobody liked him when he lost in the playoffs. They didn't think he was good anymore. That's when I bought his cards, my friend. Now I'm catching up.
The ups and downs of thinking that can you imagine buying Jordan cards after they lost in the 95 playoffs in the second round to the Orlando Magic, thinking he was done, or when he couldn't dunk in his first game back against the Pacers? God, that might have been Lamar Jackson.
That's what's happening right now in the card market. So a couple more things, and then we got to wrap up here because I got to take Max to baseball. But the second we were right about, I got to throw out there right now because It's our guy, Kadarius Toney. I bought a Kadarius Toney RPA just 2 weeks ago for $55. Guess how much I sold it for today?
$230.
$100. 2 weeks, double your money. One good game, Kadarius Toney throwing 80-yard passes down the field as a wideout. Gotta love it.
I'll be honest with you. I'm disappointed you didn't wait.
Hey,
I'm disappointed you didn't wait. Big, physical, starting to kind of get a little bit of something going with Daniel Jones before he got knocked dingy the other day. I'm disappointed you didn't wait 2 more weeks, Paul. I sent you that article just yesterday from the USA Today that talked about the next breakout candidate wide receiver is Mr. Toney. I wish you would have waited 2 more weeks, but hey, you made some money, and I give you credit for that call as well. You were right about it.
Put the money where the mouth is. That's what I did, and I doubled the money. Transaction completed, and you know what? I hope the nice young gentleman or young lady who paid $100 for that card, I hope it does go for $230. I hope they make $130 on their investment. Pay it forward, baby. That's what the hobby is all about. Okay,
great.
Here's the bad news. The bad news is that I so far have been wrong about a guy named Saquon Barkley. I bought a couple Saquon Barkley cards thinking the same kind of scenario where everyone's down on him because of the injury. Now's the time to buy low. He's going to come back. And he just hasn't come back yet, Murph. Is there hope for my Saquon Barkley cards?
Of course there is. Of course there's hope with the Saquon Barkley card. I mean, I couldn't believe how he got hurt. I mean, how can on an NFL field, can you take your eyes off of where you're running to for 20 yards? That's basically what he did. Did you see the injury? He was literally looking downfield, not looking where he was going, and ultimately ran in and hurt himself. I mean, I just couldn't believe when I saw it that he ran 20 yards on an NFL field, which is crazy, looking in the other direction versus where he is actually going. Couldn't believe it. There's potential for Saquon yet, but these injuries are starting to pile up on Saquon Barkley. You're going to know inside of the next 12 months whether or not that was a bad call or a good call.
Yeah. Right now, I'm about $45 into a Saquon Barkley SGC 9.5. That's a little bit under.
You're 45 in?
Yeah, and then I'm about 85 into a Saquon Barkley PSA 10. These are both Don Russ rated rookies. I'd say right now I'm underwater on each of them by maybe about 10%. I think if you think
that's it,
you can come,
then you're good.
Yeah, I think Saquon, if you agree that he can – so I'm going to say I was wrong about Saquon as of right now, but as of 1 month from now, 2 months from now, maybe that turns around to the we were right about column.
Yeah, for sure. They always turn.
They could turn. Murph, anything you want to add to either the buys, the sleepers? Like, what do you got for me here before we wrap it up, my friend?
Okay. Here's a couple of things that I was right about. And this was unfortunate. We ran out of time one show, and I wanted to make a big call. I think I referenced the name, but I wanted to make a big call about a month ago. Picked this guy up, couldn't believe somebody dropped him in a fantasy league, was really excited about the opportunity. A little guy by the name of Dawson Knox in Buffalo. Like the potential of that continuing to get better. You've got a 4-year quarterback who is learning how to use the tight end in an offense where the wideouts are incredibly good, which means you're getting more double teams on the outside, which opens up a guy like Dawson Knox who proved that he's incredibly athletic, very fast, and can get open. Didn't have time on that. We also talked a little bit about my boy Quez the other day. He had a nice game last night, inches away from a big game last night, but he's got the size, he's got the speed, he's unusually big. I think deceptively big. I think I would say is the more is the biggest term. You and I are opposite ends of this. You like a little guy named by the name of Rieger. I like Quez to be the second guy in Philly. We'll see who's right and we'll see who's wrong. This will be a fun season for those two guys in our conversation. Lastly, I'm going to make a call. And I've been right on some calls in the past. I might bomb on this one, but I'm going to give you a sense of why. I told you I've got a parallel to a guy, to one from back in 2008, 2009 by the name of Arian Foster. Arian Foster was brought up on the, as you guys all know, a fantasy darling. And I think, what was it, Paul? 2009-ish, something like that. He was brought up from the practice squad in week 16 of 2008, 2009, because Dominic Davis couldn't stay healthy. God knows what else that Houston, Texas didn't have. And I picked him up immediately in the fantasy league. Why? Because I knew a little bit about his history. I knew that he succeeded in the zone blocking scheme in Tennessee. I knew there was significant potential for this guy. I hyped him up for the next season, the whole offseason. What happened in Arian Foster's first game as a Texan? He fumbled on his fourth carry. He was benched by Kubiak. He was benched by Kubiak only to come back the next game and the game after that and have big games. There's something similar brewing in New England by a guy named Ramondre Stevenson. He had a great preseason. I think in his second carry of his NFL career, maybe his first one, he fumbled the ball and he got benched. And he's basically done nothing since. He doesn't get the ball. I think he had a healthy scratch one week. But last week, given some injuries, this guy had 11 carries, didn't do a ton with them, but was a part of the offense. Here's what we know about New England. You don't know anything about what they're thinking in terms of their running back position. If you got space on your team, if you can go get a card for $1, maybe $2, I like it.
Murph.
I'm not saying he's the next Arian Foster circa 2009 to 2012. But here's what I do know. You don't know what New England's thinking. They're still trying to figure it out. This guy dominated the preseason. He got Arian Fostered in his first ever NFL game, fumbled it, benched basically for 5 weeks. And now his situation yields a little bit of opportunity. What does he do with it? What do you do with it, Paul, on the card front?
I like it, Murph. I like your calls. I liked them last week. I went out and got a Van Jefferson RP.
Van Jefferson?
$15. I'm excited to see what he does. I like the Ramondre Stevenson. I was actually looking at my spreadsheet here to see if I won any Ramondre Stevensons because I had bid on several Ramondre Stevenson RPAs. I have him on my dynasty team. I'm aligned with you on Ramondre Stevenson, and I would like to now go out and find an RPA for under $25 of him, or maybe just a pro uniform basic rookie card for a dollar.
Basic.
Now here's Dawson Knox. You can get, there's bids on him that lead me to believe that he's an under $50 rookie autograph guy, which is great. I like the call for Buffalo right now. And I'm still with you on Quez. So you're riding the Quez train. You added Dawson Knox. You added Ramondre Stevenson. You got KJ Osborne and Van Jefferson from last week. You're bringing it strong.
You got to be patient. Be a little patient with these guys. The reason why I like KJ, the reason why I like Quez is because these guys couldn't even find an opportunity in the lineup last year. What did they do? They worked their ass off. They got in the gym. They learned how to run routes. Look what's happening. They're getting 6, 7, 8 targets a game. Watch them. Watch them. Guys that make significant improvement, I like. That means you got opportunity. We'll see about Ramondre. It's a bold call. It's a parallel that I loved because of the Arian Foster benching on his 4th NFL carry. I like it on Stevenson because of the exact same thing. And you just don't know ever what Bill Belichick is thinking.
I think these are the kinds of moves you have to pull to make some money in the hobby. And we thank you for watching and listening to the Sports Card Strategy Show, powered by NoOffSeason.com, brought to you by MarketMoversApp.com. Use the promo code NoOffSeason, all lowercase, to save 20%. And sponsored today by our friends at CharityBuzz.com. Go to cards.CharityBuzz.com before or on Thursday, October 28th, and bid to help the Inspiring Children Foundation. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Murph, you have a great day. Everybody out there, have a great day. Happy collecting.
Have a great day, guys. Happy collecting.